So in yesterday's video, we met our new club, we had a look at what players we've got, and in today's episode, it's time for a transfer special and it's time to build a squad that's capable of qualifying us for the North American Champions Cup. Welcome to the video, folks, and I've been fairly busy in-game trying to familiarise myself a little bit with some of the things that are going on. I'll talk you through them right now. First of all, I've been doing squad planning. So what I have worked out is we've got this guy here, Josu Hernandez Pat, 19-year-old. He's got a bit of potential at goalkeeping. I don't mind having him potentially as my backup because his attributes look okay. His star rate is rubbish, but his attributes look okay. So yeah, he could potentially be my backup goalkeeper, although if I do find a better backup goalkeeper, I will go for it. But he's Mexican. He's got some okay attributes and a bit of potential. He might be okay. But that does mean that I need a number one goalkeeper. And I found him. We'll get to him in a moment. In terms of the rest of my starting 11, this is how my starting 11 would look like. And it all looks pretty decent. There's some average players in there. There's some decent players in there. Some very good players in there. Gallegos and Liart, or Liet. I don't know what I'm going to end up calling him, but yeah, that's him anyway. But what I have worked out is we need a centre-back and a left-back, or we need two centre-backs, and Casas could end up playing at left-back if we need him to. In an ideal world, it would be a centre-back and a left-back, but we'll see what happens in the transfer window. Now, we have got other players here as well we've got backups for every position, basically. And what I'm kind of looking for in this transfer window, the goalkeeper, which like I say we've got. Then we need to fill the defensive areas, because the defensive areas are kind of what is a concern to me. Now, if I can find a central defender, for example, that's better than Contreras or Duat or Dayut, Rail, then that's what I'll do. And they'll drop down here, especially as Rail, for example, can play a bit at left back, and he can do it to what, a 2-star standard for what we need it to do. But technically he can do it. So yeah, they could end up dropping down as we bring in better. That is the idea, to bring in first teamers rather than bringing in reserves. We do have, if we have a look at our squad, I've got it filtered a bit weird here. But if we go by age range, we do have a young squad. I mean, from Gerson Lopez here at 18, all the way down to Martin Lopez, who's 21. We have, 9 players that are 21 or under. And then we've got 23, 25, 26 and 27. It's only when you get down here to Devlin, Brederode and Fernandez that you're into your 30s, plus the 2 new guys that we've signed before I arrived. So the age profile of the squad is looking really decent. The potential is looking absolutely amazing. And we also have a very good dev centre as well. If we have a look at our potential players in our under 23s, we've got some terrific names here. I mean, I'm saying that I need a centre back. We have got this guy here, Alfredo Jimenez, who's 17 years old, 2-star current ability with 5-star potential. We have a look at him. He is only 5'10". That's the downside. But I mean, his tackling is 17, marking is 12. He's got 16 natural fitness. He's got a good group of mentals here, some decent physicals. He's an intelligent central defender. So he obviously reads books in his spare time, things like that. But he is certainly someone that if I can't find anyone worth bringing in, and this is the thing, if I'm bringing in a 2.5-star centre-back, what's the point? I might as well just use this guy, because he's not far off it at the moment and he's got the potential. So what I'll do is if I find someone and they're 2.5, 3 stars, I'll do the comparison between the two to see whether attribute-wise they're actually worth bringing in ahead of Jimenez. But we have got some really good, talented players, and this is just their under 23s. If we have a look at our under 18 squad, that's filled by talent as well. Again, look at these players. We have got some another potential centre back here. He's 1.5 star at the moment. He's only 16 years old, so I don't really want to bring him into my first team. But 1.5 star, I mean, he's already pretty decent. 5-star potential as well. He could do the anchor role, which I believe is where we're actually training him at the moment. Oh no, we're training him as a central defender. Okay, we'll keep him as a central defender. And yeah, you just look at another centre back here, Fabian Ceballos, 1.5 star with 5-star potential. 14 for heading. His marking needs some work. 12 for tackling. Yes, he's only 5'10", but he's got okay-ish physicals at the moment. They will hopefully get better. His mentals are not bad at all. He is a centre-back. What are we training him for? Central defender. Yep, that's fine. Actually, I've just seen we're training him as a central defender on support. I don't want to be training him as a centre-back. Not on support, on stopper rather. Let's change that to a central defender on defend. And yet we'll take control of his individual training as well. Another one here. He's he's only 15 years old, but 1-star currently at 4-star potential. Again, we just need to make sure with these players, let's make sure we've got him being trained as a centre-back. No, we don't want no nonsense. Central defender, on defend, yep, lovely. We'll leave his additional training as it is. I still need to I've gone through some of these names and sorted their training out, but I do need to still go through some more of them. But even here, we've got Emilio Torres as a centre-back. He's 22 years old, so he's kind of getting a bit old for a youth team now. But he's already looking pretty decent. You know, he's got a little bit of potential as well. We could end up playing him. So we need to have a look at what we've got when we're bringing players in. I have been to the squad planner and sorted out the squad planner. If we have a look at the squad depth screen, I think is the one. There you go. So this is how we're lining up basically at the moment. We've got the one goalkeeper. That obviously needs attention. We've got Gallegos, Raul and Casas that can play left back. So in theory, we're okay there, but there's players that are in other positions as well. Centre back, we've got Roas, that is our first choice centre back. He may be leaving, by the way. Then we've got Contreras, we've got Flores, we've got Raul, and we've got Casas, who are also up here as well. Then in defence, again, Roas is going to be leaving us, or probably going to be leaving us. Then we've got Gallegos, that's our number one choice. Then we've got Contreras, Oscar, so you need to take them two out. So in theory, you take Contreras and Flores out of there. Oh no, actually, that's a mistake. Flores is actually out injured at the moment. How do you add someone back in? Oh, Riyadh, here you go. So let's re-add him back into it. Right, okay, go. There you go. Right, so that's what we've got there. In terms of Casas, he could play out there. Raul, he could play out there as well. They're not really players we're looking at playing out, so we'll leave that like that. Then if you... This wasn't the screen that I was on originally. Where's the screen I originally had? Depth? No. I can't work out where I was. Was I in report? No. Stats? No. Comparison? No. I can't find where I was in this. Oh, there you go. That's the one. Got there in the end. So this is what I was originally going by. I weren't going by that other screen. I was going by this. So we've got the goalkeeper. Then we've got these guys here, which kind of tells us we're waiting for Renan to come in as a centre-back. So he'll be there somewhere doing something. Which basically, from this, I've gathered that defensive midfield all the way up to our strikers, we're fine. I'm quite happy with that. It's the defence that needs work, and that's what I intend to do. Right, if we have a look at our inbox at the moment, because this is the goalkeeper, 25-year-old goalkeeper, we're paying £3.8 million for him, but they're taking $4 million away from me. If we have a quick look at him, he looks very decent. He looks like a really good goalkeeper, and considering the person we've got at the moment is 1.5 star, we will accept that now, and he will come to us. We just move forward one day so we can actually have a look at him in the flesh, so to speak. Why is he not 15th of June? Oh, the transfer window's not open yet. Okay. So he comes through on the 15th of June. He will be our number one goalkeeper. No problem at all. We've got that sorted. In terms of the finances, we've now got 5.7 million in the transfer budget. We've got plenty to go around in the wage budget, about 90,000 still to spend in there. In terms of transfers, like I say, Fabinho's coming in, Renan's coming in, and Medina's coming in. In terms of players going out, Aloni Mike, we know was already going, but Miguel Roas, Al Sad have come in for him. £7.5 million they offered me. I didn't really want to let him go because he's a very, very good player. But £7.5 million, I can't turn that kind of money down for him, really. So he will be going on to them. I will have a look at some players to try and bring in. And when we've got other players that have arrived, i.e. the 15th of June, I'll probably bring you back and let you know about them then, and also an update on where we are with any new players. Okay, so some people have asked me in the past how I go about getting staffing, and a lot of the time I put job adverts out. If we go and have a look at our staffing at the moment, we need 4 coaches. I've put job adverts out for the 4 coaches, I believe. And yeah, and I've also put out job adverts for the performance analysts. I've done it for the recruitment analyst and the loan manager, and I've done it for physios. What I haven't put out a job advert for, because I like to do this one myself, is the scouts. So I go into staff search. If I'm going for scouts, I'll have judging player ability and judging player potential here. I filter by whichever one is most important to me. So let's just say potential is the most important one. And then, because I like to build for the future, I like to sign younger players and whatever else. Go into the edit screen, select scout, select ability and potential for that. I always set it at 15 just to see how good we can get. If you get a lot, just move it up again to 16, see what happens for that. Click OK. It's not matched completely. The screen's a bit bugged in that, but it is what it is. When I'm looking for players, for staff that are going to join me, if it's a scout, for example, if they're currently a chief scout, no point going for them. They're already a chief scout. They're not going to come to me to be a scout. But what I can see is you've got this guy here, George Marimon, 17 ability, 17 potential, but he's a chief scout. So automatically he's out of the running. These are not good enough, but you get down to 15 and 16. Who's this guy here? Jonathan Ochoa. Jonathan. He's 15 for ability, 16 for potential. Let's have a look at him. He's a scout at the moment, so let's approach to sign him. It is worth looking at what the compensation would be. It doesn't actually tell me here what the compensation is, so I'm assuming I'm not having to pay a compensation for him. We've just offered him a contract. Then you got this guy who's Mateus Croco. He's with Estudiantes LP. I presume they're a record company or something. I don't know. He looks fine. 16 for adaptability as well. So what we can do with him is we can offer him a contract as well. So we go into contract, approach to sign. There you go. Current compensation, £26,000. You need to decide whether your club can afford that or not. 2 years, £350. Let's say we knock him down to £300 a week. Always check this to scout as well, because sometimes you'll go to bring in a performance analyst, for example, and it will say recruitment analyst, or it'll say under 18s performance analyst. So always check that the job title is what you want it to be. Let's suggest he's gone to 325. Let's go back to 300. He's accepted it. We've saved £50 per week. Lovely stuff. We can get 4 scouts, by the way. So those we've got. The next one is a chief scout, so no point going with him. And then we start getting into a bit of the rubbish. So we've got a guy here. He's a chief scout. If you want to make a move for him, you can, but you might find he doesn't want to. There you go. He said chief scout. No point even going with that. If you don't really have any money at your club, under the employed section, select no and click OK and see what you're left with, because you can get some fairly decent scouts doing it that way. He's got 12 for ability, 14 for potential. What you then need to look at is where else does he have scouting knowledge. So he's got Myanmar and Thailand. Maybe you want to bring him in specifically so he can scout them areas and then let him go afterwards, basically. But that's kind of how I do my staffing. Let's just go back to this a minute, because select any. Let's go back up to this one, see if we can find anybody. So we've got Christian Gonzalez from Central Norte, Salta, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, Colombia. He's got quite a good amount of knowledge. Let's go for him. £300 a week, £24,000 compensation. It does also tell you over that side as well. And we'll make a play for him. And then who else do we want to have a look at? These are chief scouts. They're not going to come to us. I think... So he's a chief scout as well. I think we're probably going to say that's it for now. I mean, we've got this guy here. I mean, he's 74 years old. I mean, at this point, we're paying his pension, but he does have quite a lot of extensive knowledge as well. Do you know what? We'll bring him in. I mean, it says 3 years. I don't think he's going to be around for 3 years, but I mean, I don't think he's going to be at the club for 3 years. That's what I mean. He'll retire by then. Let's see if we knock him down to 500. You do tend to find with the older ones, they want more money per week than the younger ones. But there you go. We've put in offers for 4 staff. We've got adverts out for lots of other positions at the moment. This is what our staffing looks like currently. So hopefully by the time we're ready to kick off the new season, we will have a much better looking staff set up than what we've got at the moment. Okay, I've never had this pop up in Football Manager before. I'm not saying it's new or anything, but America to make B club decision. America have the option of forming a new B club to compete in the Premier League Serie A from next season. As part of the process, a coach will need to be delegated to manage the newly created team. This can be the manager, it is not going to be me, or a member of the existing coaching staff. That will probably be my assistant, or someone anyway. Oh, we can select the coach here. Okay, so... I mean, I don't know what Ricardo Sosa is like. Who's these managers down here? I'm assuming they're like... Okay, so hang on. I need to be educated on this. So let's have a look at our under-23s staff. So we do have a manager for the under-23 staff. We don't have any coaches or an assistant manager. We probably need to get that sorted out. In fact, if we go into staff in a minute, have a look under responsibilities for staff. I do my team. This director of football of mine needs to get his bum in gear, but hopefully he will do that. Right, if we have a look, let's go back again. Under 23s, Peralta is the manager of that. So let's go back to here. Can we select Peralta in it? Oh, there you go. So we're going to select our under 23s manager to be the manager of our newly created B team. So I imagine in here we will have under 23s, under 18s, and then B team, or we might have B team down here. Somewhere we are going to have a B team, which means we should be able to harvest a bit more talent as well. Okay, so I thought we was going to have a season here where we're not in the North American Champions Cup and we have to play a full season, qualify for it through the league, and then compete in it next season. I've just had an email come through. They're delighted that I've achieved a club vision progress of reaching the latter stages of the North American Champions Cup. So I'm assuming with our schedule, even though there's nothing in here at the moment, that we are going to be in the North American Cup latter stages. So we could win our 4th part of the Pentagon like we did with Flamengo very early on. Right, I've just got some more things coming up here. Let's have a look at this. Right, we've got a staff member, Jonathan Ochoa, coming in. £475 a week, no compensation. Lovely stuff. And then Christian Gonzalez as a scout. He was a scout as well. £23,000 compensation. Lovely stuff. We'll accept that. £300 a week. We have also had money coming in for the club for qualifying for various different things. 16.176 million is in our overall balance. In terms of debts and loans, we've got no debt and 4.1 negative transfer debt, and our projections are not looking great. So maybe we win the Champions Cup and run. But who knows? I actually want to stick with America for a little while, because I do want to get a good sample of the Mexican League. So this isn't going to be a Flamengo job where we just win the Copa Libertadores and leg it. We will actually be around here for at least a couple of seasons. So yeah, staffing are in. I'm still looking at more players. I'll let you know when I know more. And we have a brand new signing, ladies and gentlemen. 23-year-old centre-back Brian Felix. He is Mexican. That is wonderful stuff. He's 3.5 stars, so he's a significant improvement on anything we've got. He's a physical centre-back. We're ignoring the word wide. As you see there, he is the best we've got quite comfortably. And yeah, we've had to pay a release clause for him, so it did cost us a total of 8 million that's come from our transfer budget, but he looks good. He's got a little bit of potential as well. Let's go and slot him in to our first team. Brian Felix, here you go. And he can take over from, well, pop him in there at the moment. And what's his preferred foot? I think he's strong on both. So he's very strong on the left. So do we want to take Raul out, a 23-year-old? Well, he's 6'1". Contreras, he's 5'10". I mean, I think he is a better player, to be fair, but he does like to play the anchor role. and there is a possibility Terry Devlin might be going to Saudi Arabia. So for now, we'll bung him in there and we'll switch his role to a central defender on defend. And already with him and Gallegos, we've got two really good defenders there. Renan has come in as well, by the way. He's 3 stars. He's 5'11". He can use his left foot. He's fine. Like I say, he's a squad player. He'll do what he's going to do. We are a little bit jinxed at right back, by the way, because Oscar Flores is our number 1 right back. And he's currently injured. He's going to be out for another 3 months. So I brought Armando Ortega in from the youth team because I thought if he's only going to be for a month or 2 of the season, 2-star current ability with 5-star potential, he's got some decent attributes as well. We could absolutely use him. Plus, he's got good leadership as well. And considering he's only 18 years old, he could actually be a player for a long-term future. Turns out he's on international duty until the 7th of July, and our first league game's on the 5th of July. So rather than buying a right back, I'm just going to stick with playing someone else. Maybe even Contreras can go out there, and in here we'll bring Duat. Let's just remove him from the position for now, and that will kind of be how we're lining up in defence. If we have a look at the transfers and our transfer history, as you see, Renan has come in, Fabinho has come in, and Brian Felix has come in. Total of £13 million spent. Miguel Rojas has gone to Al Sadd for £7.5 million. And Diego Magana, who's a young striker, I believe. Yeah, striker. He's got 4-star potential, 2-star current. He's actually injured at the moment. I think he might have just picked up that injury. He's now gone out on loan, and he's an important player on loan. So hopefully he will get some good game time there. In terms of staff, we have brought in a whole load of staff, recruitment analyst, technical director, couple of coaches, goalkeeping coach, couple of performance analysts, all this sort of stuff, which means overall we are looking the best in class for coaching, the best in class for scouting. We've still got a scout that we can bring in, by the way, and we're currently trying to fill the medical department because we offered contracts to 3 physios and they all rejected us and stuck with the club they're with. So hopefully the 3 that we've now put offers in for, which should be here, we've got what? Oh, for God's sake, he's going to be my under-18s physio. Right, we've got 2 that are going to be coming in, and an under-20. I don't even know what he's meant to be doing. He must be something from the other guy, from my assistant or whatever it is, my director of football. But we've got a couple of physios that are on their way in anyway. 1 more to try and bring in. We're getting ready for the new season. We've had a couple of friendlies. We've lost the first ones against Toluca, who of course turned us down when we went for the job with Flamengo. Or they were before Flamengo. We've played Canemy. We won 3-0. We've got a few more friendlies to come before our first game of the new season, which is only a couple of weeks away now. So, yeah, we better get a bit busier. In terms of the transfer funds, we've only got 3.2 million in the transfer budget. So we're probably not going to be bringing in a great deal more, if anybody, just to set expectations. Okay, we've got a bit of an emergency situation. I've had loads of players come to me that they're unhappy with the depth in the goalkeeping department, and I've basically promised them that I'm going to bring in somebody else. They said we need 1 or 2 more goalkeepers. I don't think I need 4 goalkeepers, but I did say at the beginning of the video that potentially we do need another backup because that other guy might not be good enough. So that is what I'm going to be doing between now and the end of this transfer window, which, by the way, this transfer window is mad because it opens on the 15th of June and closes on the 6th of July, 1 day after our opening. It's not even open a month. I mean, that's not very long. So, yeah, the squad said they're not happy with your management of the team and they wish to talk to you about it. They have discussed the issue with the squad, and it's the lack of sufficient quality in depth. Right. I need to have a look at scouts. I did actually have a scout report specific for goalkeepers, but it come back they found nobody. So let's have a little look at what might be out there. I mean, that's not encouraging, really, is it? That's really not encouraging. What I might have to do actually is let's have a look in here and let's go, say, Cruisers All, for example. Have a look at their senior squad. They've got 2 goalkeepers. One of them, this guy's Mexican. What's he like? I mean, he looks like he might not be too bad. He's only going to cost us a couple of million. Let's give him a little scout. What's NB mean? Nation born. Oh, okay. That's a new one. It's because you've got to have players born in Mexico and all this sort of stuff. Right, so we've got him lined up. So yeah, hopefully we can get a scout report back on him fairly soon. I forgot what his name is. Let's have a look at it. What am I doing? Players. There you go. Players. Senior squad. Samuel Gonzalez. Homegrown in Mexico. He's quite useful, I suppose. Right. Let's have it. Who else have we got? There's Leon. Who do they have? They have a couple of goalkeepers. This guy seems to be, he's Uruguayan. He's their number one goalkeeper. I mean, he's only going to cost us like 140,000. He could be quite useful. Let's give him a little scout as well. And I think basically this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get a load of goalkeepers scouted from the league, because my scouting team, even though they're the best in the Mexican First Division, they're clearly rubbish. So I'm going to get some scout reports on goalkeepers, and I'll come back to you if I've got anything more. It's all going wrong. I thought I was going to come back today, Saturday, 5th of July, saying, oh, you know, quite into the transfer window. We've not really been able to get much done. And now it's kicking off because there's 2 days. Well, the transfer window closes midnight. I don't know if that's midnight tonight, as in going into that day. I presume that's what it is. Either way, Hugo Gallegos, whatever you want to say. Schalke and Utrecht have come in. Schalke are offering 4.4 million, rising to 9.5 million. They can get stuff. They're not getting that. But Utrecht have come in with an offer of 11.75 million, rising to 15.25 million. And he's going to become unsettled if he's not allowed to talk to them. Now, they're offering well above his transfer value. I think I might ask for 12.5 million up front, with a potential value overall of 16 million pounds. Let's suggest it, see if they take it, and they have done. So he's going to be going, and he's our number one left back, and we have. I then went into my squad to have a look, and we don't really have anyone of much quality to play at left back. Dayot can do it, Felix can do it, but not to great standards, let's be honest. So I have gone into the transfer market, and I've made an offer for this guy, Vicente Rodriguez, 26-year-old attacking fullback, which is what I want on that left-hand side. £2.1 million we've offered. He is on the transfer list. If he agrees, it's going to come in for £35,000 a week as a regular starter. We could be about to sign a fairly decent player, but I am signing him pretty much not knowing what's going on. I've got this star rating here, which suggests that he's not actually that much of a downgrade to Gallegos. But of course, I've got not much to go on by the attributes because we haven't scouted him. So we don't know what his crossing is like, for example. And for an attacking fullback, I need good crossing. All I know is it's got a red line on it. I don't know if that's good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. So yeah, he might be coming in. In terms of other transfers, we go to the transfer history screen. You know about Roas. I mean, that's another one. We've lost their first choice right back as well. We had top quality right backs and left backs. It was the central defensive areas we needed help on, and we've now lost both of our top quality fullbacks. Magano, as you know, went on loan. Mike has gone to William II for 4.8 million, and Quintilla has gone to Mineras for £13,250 loan. He's one of their youngsters. Don't really have much about him. He's going to be out of contract at the end of next year, so he has gone. Medina has since arrived as well on a free transfer. We can look at him. He's a fairly decent player as a backup option for the left-hand side. Could potentially play on the right-hand side or up front if we needed him. Yeah, he'll do. I mean, he's an old man. He won't be here for too long. In terms of what else could be happening, Hugo Gallegos and Emilio Torres is obviously on his way out as well. He's going out on loan, and yeah, he's got a little bit of potential. He might come back and do something for us. He might not. Who knows? In terms of who's coming in, we have looked at a goalkeeper, a 32-year-old. That's how desperate I'm getting. Jose Elogio. Yep. He's not bad. He's 3 stars current and potential ability. We've just had a scouting report come in on him. He's the first scouting report we've had come back. I actually made the bid without the scouting report. He's with Tigres at the moment, and they obviously, I mean, it don't make much sense. They're prepared to let him go. He's only just signed for them, but apparently they're willing to let him go. We've offered him a contract. It'll be if we have a quick look at it, we're paying £800,000 up front, £700,000 in instalments, and £2,000 per game for 10 games. And yeah, hopefully he will be considered a sufficient backup option, and he's happy to be backup as well. We are at the stage now as well where we are about to start the first game of the season. If we have a look at our schedule, we've played our friendlies, decent results, got some fitness in some of the legs. We start off against Mazatlan, who are a poor team by the opening stage standards. We are expected to win that, the fact that we're at home as well. We then play Pachuca and Pumas, which is two tough games, I have to say. They are expected to be up there. We'll have a look at the season preview in a moment. Then we've got Toluca and NACC. I mean, them two are decent teams as well. So we've got quite a tough start to the season, but then, you know, should get a little bit simpler after that. In the League Cup 5th round Group 5, this is obviously a League Cup or Leagues Cup, which is for Mexico, USA and Canada, because they're the three nations that are represented in it. Portland and Toronto FC actually look like decent teams. That looks like a pretty tough group. But from what I can see on here, we only play them once. They're all, well, these two are on neutral venues. This one's away from home. I don't know how that one works. Subaru Park is where Philadelphia play, and Providence Park is where Portland play. So we're playing Portland at Portland's ground, but it's a neutral venue, and we're playing Toronto FC at Portland's ground as well. So we're both away from home, and that don't seem fair to me. That seems a little bit naughty, but it is what it is. They are the only... Oh, we've got the Campeones Cup as well on the 17th of September against Philadelphia. I'm assuming this is if you win the winner of one competition, the winner of another competition or something like that, you go into this Campeones Cup. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know, because I really, really don't. And at the moment, it's not showing us anything about the... Oh, hang on. The Campeones Cup is against Philadelphia in Philadelphia Stadium. So when is their next League Cup game? We've got two League Cup games here. Neutral venues, both played at Portland's ground. Oh yeah, but do you know what? I need a slap with a wet fish. That is the group phase. We've only got 3 teams in the group. So yeah, that's fine. I'm understanding it now. Oh, Mexican football. I tell you what, this is going to be a baptism of fire. I don't mind telling you. Also, it's worth noticing as well, you know, you get the email comes up about player contracts expiring. I got that and just assumed it was going to be at the end of the season. So I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It turns out Terry Devlin, for example, his contract runs out in December. So midway through the season, his contract will be up. He's got no interest in staying on. And I recently turned down an offer of 10 million for him, but he now has teams coming in from Saudi Arabia and Monterrey as well to take him away on a free. So I feel a bit sad that I've lost money there. In terms of the transfer budget, we've got 5 million in the transfer budget. What we will need to happen is we will need this guy to go through for definite, but we will also need him to go before we can bring him in. So hopefully that all works itself out. And with the transfer window closing on the 6th of July, after the game against Mazatlan and before the game against Pachuca away from home, you will know what happens with that in tomorrow's episode, as I will. So thank you very much for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what your experiences are of Mexican football down below in the comment section. I'll be loving reading that. In the meantime, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.